Alright, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, I'm getting a lot of downloads for you today, so I felt the need to share them. And what I'm seeing here today is you could be really anxious about the next steps that you're taking in your life. It's sort of like you're building block by block, and there could be a little bit of fogginess around what to do next or where to go next or am I making the right decisions, and that could be kind of weighed down by your past and maybe not seeing your past clearly or something like that. And I'm seeing that it's like you have something that you really wanted to come true or to play out in a certain way, and you're like feeling kind of deep down upset on this sort of level that underlies everything else going on for you. Maybe some disappointment around like trying to build towards that thing that you wanted, towards this deep desire. And for many of you, this is a spiritual soul desire. So this is something that maybe you wanted deep within your spirit for a long time. I'm hearing community. Some of you could have wanted to build community. But it's something about connection here and like a desire that you have for the world, a wish, a dream that you have for the life that you could create. And there's some disappointment and possibly this feeling of like, did I fail? Did I not do this right? And Spirit's saying, no, you didn't fail. This is just one part of your path. So I want to clarify this energy, but before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you found this reading at this time, it's because it was meant for you and you were meant to hear a message here. So thank you so much for being here. And if you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings and I love doing them. You can email me down below in the description box for more information about that. And if you'd like to lend your energy to the channel in such a way that helps me connect with you more, helps me manifest messages that resonate more for you, please like and subscribe. I really love connecting with you guys in any way I can, and that's a really important way. So let's see what we have for you, Sagittarius. Your oracle cards for the day are We Are the World, Awareness, and Moment to Moment. So you're coming into a consciousness of really understanding the ways that everything is interconnected and kind of locating yourself in the present moment here with the Moment to Moment card and understanding that even as each moment unfolds before you and within you, you're connected to something larger than yourself and you maintain this awareness of that sort of unfolding. And it's interesting because you're showing me the idea of you being a seed within a larger ecosystem of plants that all connect to each other all across the globe. And you're showing me I may just be one seed, but I'm one very important seed. Some of you may feel like you have big shoes to fill spiritually, and there's this feeling of like wanting to rush to be everything that you can be, and Spirit wants you to know you are enough just as you are. You are enough just as you are. And there could be some feelings of like some high expectations for yourself that you hold on to here, and you're kind of going through this process of purging those limiting beliefs, those high expectations, and understanding that you are beautiful exactly as you are with the Sun card here. Let the light wash over you. You know, you are just perfect and just fine just as you are, just as the universe made you. Just like the sun, we don't look to the sun and say, oh, if only she would move a little bit to the left, then she'd be perfect. No, we look to the sun and we say, she's perfect just the way she is. And there's a very strong message here about loving yourself just the way you are, without needing to be anything else and without needing anyone else's validation, providing that love for yourself. Let's take a look at that limiting belief that might be holding you down a little bit. There may be times when you get stuck in your head, and there may be beliefs that it's like you believe them so deeply, they're so ingrained in you that you just come to believe that they're true. And Spirit's telling me here they're actually not. Those beliefs are not true. This may be a belief from childhood that stayed with you as you moved through the course of your life, and it wasn't a very loving belief. It was something kind of shaming, something kind of dominant, a very heavy, kind of harsh energy that you've kind of carried with you ever since your childhood. For some of you, this could have to do with a mother wound, but if it doesn't have to, then, don't take that. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's take a look here. As you've grown, this belief has kind of grown with you, and Spirit's asking you to let it go. Let go of what you're holding on to. And for many of you, this is not a belief that expresses itself consciously. This is a belief that expresses itself through the way that you feel. So if you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling like you're not enough, you're feeling like you need to be better and it just drains you, that's a feeling that you need to let go of, and not just a belief, but that feeling stems from a belief that may have been spoken to you at one point, but is now sort of living in your subconscious and expresses itself through the way that you feel. And because you're holding on to this, you may not see exactly how beautiful you are. You are this radiant, radiant energy, Sagittarius. You are beautiful. When you walk in a room, eyes turn, heads turn. Everyone's looking at you. Even if they're not looking at you physically, they're looking at you spiritually. They're looking at you energetically. It's like you are this radiant light, this light bulb that just radiates energy, radiates beauty, and it's like even if someone's not looking in your direction, they can't deny how beautiful you are. But it's funny because even as strongly as you radiate this magnificent light, it's like you don't see it. You don't see your own worth. You don't see your own beauty, or at least you didn't in the past. And the universe is trying to show it to you. It's trying to make you conscious of that which you are not conscious of. It's trying to show you you don't have to worry. There is clarity here for you in this perception of yourself as this beautiful, radiant light. And there may be times when you get pulled away from that part of yourself and you get anxious or you get triggered or you get depressed. And Spirit's saying, see yourself clearly. You are more than enough. See yourself clearly. You are more than enough. Alright, I just had to take a breather for that message and just really let it sink in. But let's get back here. I'm seeing that there's something that you're learning through this painful experience. Something's being made aware to you. I want to take a look at this Nine of Swords in the center of your reading. You have this very anxious, stressed out energy that kind of seems to, it's like very pervasive in everything that you experience, everything that you do. It's like even when you have clarity, even when you experience positive things, it's like there's this underlying energy that moves through you. Oh my gosh, this is such an eventful reading. I had 3 cards from a completely different deck just go flying out. So there's a message here for you. There's a lot of stress over something painful that sort of sweeps you up inside of it, and you get kind of carried away. You may get triggered to some type of painful ending, some type of betrayal, some type of wound that it's like you get lost in it and it sweeps you away. And Spirit's saying there's clarity around you, there's abundance around you, there's happiness around you. You just make sure you're looking up out of this sort of hole that you go into, because it's right there for the taking. Let's take a look. I want to see that energy of clarity that's currently around you. You are beautiful, Sagittarius, but it has to do with how you speak to yourself and how you contend with that message that you received when you were younger or in the past that you've carried through to you. Are you healing that message? There's a healing presence around you that wants you to work through those limiting beliefs and that pain within you. And it's about how you speak to yourself. And can you reparent the part of yourself that was injured in the past, that was wounded in the past? Can you heal that? Can you take the time to speak to yourself in a more loving way? Because when you get pulled away from that inner voice of confidence, of strength, of healing, you get swept up into this painful energy. And then, though, I see clarity around you, I see truth, I see beauty, and it's like the sun comes up and you step back into that energy. Let's take a look at that sun card for you. The question is, are you going to pull yourself out of that hole? Are you going to see yourself for everything that you are? And it's sort of like you go back and forth between not seeing yourself as anything, as seeing yourself as a speck of dust. It's this very low self-esteem energy, and then you kind of bounce back and you're like, oh my god, I'm great, I'm fine. And so it has to do with your confidence and whether or not you can pull yourself out of that hole and understand that you are beautiful just the way you are. And you kind of deal with this over and over again. You kind of ping pong back and forth. I'm beautiful, I'm special, no I'm not, I'm the worst. I'm beautiful, I'm special, no I'm not, I'm the worst. And that's kind of what you're contending with. And this cycle wants to be closed out once and for all. The universe and also your soul, you don't want to struggle with this anymore. You're ready to open your heart up to yourself and offer yourself a little bit of grace. So if you're someone out there who's been struggling to be gentle with yourself, you're telling yourself, all my problems are my fault, I should have dealt with this in a better way. Spirit's saying, have some gentleness. Bring some grace into it. Bring heaven into it. Bring gentleness into it. Bring mother's love into it. And that will soften you almost immediately. That will soften you. It's like you struggle to balance out. Something happens, an explosion kind of, and suddenly it throws you off. And it has something to do with the way the people that you love treat you. You may be around people, or you may have been around people in the past who didn't treat you well, and you let that shake your equilibrium. And Spirit's asking you to go within yourself and find confidence whether or not the people around you are treating you a certain way. They're saying almost you need to rise above. You are greater than the people around you. You are bigger. You're meant to stand alone. And that's not to say you're meant to be alone, but you're meant to stand alone. You're meant to shine brighter than the rest. You're meant to be your own guiding light. And there may be patterns from the past that you're meant to interrupt, ways of being, codes. I'm hearing light forces. I don't know what that means, but it's like projections or energies that people give to you, or things that people say to you, or limiting beliefs that other people carry with them, traumas that other people carry with them that they attempt to give you. And it's like, no, don't take that on. Interrupt that and say, this is who I am within myself, and this is the energy that I'll give to myself. And I'm hearing reparenting over and over again. So it's like you're reparenting yourself. You're giving your inner child something that you weren't given before. And you are interrupting that struggling place by loving yourself on a whole new level. Let's take a look here. I see your heart opening in the future. I see you moving forward. Let's take a look. You're manifesting a level of love that you haven't known before. It's like once you interrupt these generational patterns, once you interrupt these patterns of limiting beliefs, you open up to a level of acceptance and love from other people that shows up in the physical world in a way that maybe you never experienced before. It presents itself as an entirely new energy. And it's not just from one person either. It may come through a face-to-face, one-on-one interaction, but it comes from all sides. It comes from all directions. It's not just one person or one relationship that you have. It's many different relationships, many different opportunities for love. I see you connecting with a soul family, and it's like you're almost like opening up, you're healing your inner child, and you're glowing up, you're elevating. It's like you're jumping to the next level, and you're skipping over different levels to get to the place you've always been meant to be. It's like you go through a very, very fast growth edge, a moment where you elevate very quickly, and it's almost like you skip many grades in school, but the school is the school of life. And I see you opening up, and this love, it's like fuel, it's like food, and you take this love into your body, into your heart space, and you become sort of this light source for yourself, and you grow and you grow and you grow. And what started out as a little seed of opportunity, it opens up into something much bigger, something much more possible and more hopeful, and you have these possibilities that come to you without even necessarily trying. Yeah, there's an energy here that's coming to meet you. It's leaving something else and it's coming towards you. And it comes towards you as you move on as well. And so it's like these energies are all moving forward. And it's a good reminder that you're meant to move forward. You're not meant to stay in one place. It's interesting. Other people find stability when they root in the ground, and you find stability by moving forward, by moving on, by moving towards what feels right intuitively for you, whether or not anyone else can validate that. It's your path, it's yours alone. And there may be times when that North Star sort of calls to you and you look up to the sky and you see this bright star and it's calling you and it's calling you and it's calling you. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I should go towards that because it's different or it's weird or it's not what everyone else is doing. And all of a sudden I see you clicking into place and following your North Star and saying, it's time for me to heal. It's time for me to be okay. So, really beautiful message for you here, Sagittarius. I'm going to get 3 cards of advice here for you. Let's see what it is. 3 cards of advice from the universe. We have the 6 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. That's you standing strong in your energy, Sagittarius, your feminine energy. It's saying you know that a cycle is done. You know that something is done. You know that you've done all you can and it's time to move on. So move forward with confidence, knowing that you did the best that you could. And I usually don't do this, but I'm feeling the need to pull more for you. So let's see what we have. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the 8 of Cups. You don't have to worry. There's a part of you that's standing at the edge of the sea and you're looking out at the horizon and you're saying, what's going to happen if I go out there? And Spirit's saying, just go for it. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates. And I'll see you next time.